I suppose you can hear me, John? I hope. Test, test, test. Mr. Linton. Thanks, Artie. Appreciate it. Good. For some reason, StreamYard would not let me schedule under 12 hours in advance. Don't know why. I always get up Friday morning and schedule a live stream, and it would not let me do it. You had to have 12 hours in advance. So live and learn. So that's why I didn't have it scheduled per se, but yet John Linton said it was for 7:30 a.m. I think that's what time I actually got on this morning trying to schedule. Who knows? Anyway, I put this up, and we'll actually, we can start early, I guess. I was just going to put this the sign up as kind of a notice for everybody that yes, we are going live today. Yeah, Artie, I don't know. I've never claimed to be the brightest bulb. It may be me, but I've been doing live streams a year now, and this is the first time it kind of kept me from scheduling. Doing live, notice it doesn't say live in mail call because we haven't had any mail all week. Airport's supposed to open. Well, airport was supposed to open at 10 o'clock this morning, so should be getting mail coming in that way. Trucking has been resumed. They lifted the evacuation orders late yesterday, so that opened up the highways again. Good, already good to know. Depending on which way east, really, east of us got worse. Depending on where east. The track. Last I talked to Tom, they were okay. Tom Kivicek, they were just still without power. So, hello, Mr. Bannicky. So when people ask me what I did during Hurricane Ian, I ran trains. For those of you that stopped in on my 3 hurricane live streams, got the old generator cranked up, and once I figured out my fiber optics box was not on one of the circuits I had my generator wired to. Okay, so once I figured that out and put an extension cord to that box, then I had internet. But the rest of the house was all up and running, except for the 220. I didn't have air conditioning or hot water or stuff like that, but didn't really need it. I did have the air conditioner that's behind me and here in the train room. That did run. I had enough of the pond running for the koi to survive. Those of you that saw my Facebook page, I got power back at 4:19 this morning. Okay, and yesterday we spent cleaning up all the brush and stuff and putting everything back outside and so forth. So we are at this stage fully recovered. Got all kinds of crap along the curb for garbage folks to pick up, and today's our scheduled garbage day, and normally they're here about 7 o'clock in the morning, but not today. Goldfish. Yeah, they're carp. Goldfish are carp and koi are carp, but koi are not goldfish. Yeah, check cameras every now and then during those live streams and watch the palms whip around a little bit and then come back and watch the trains run. Hey, I slept through the worst of it. My wife didn't, but I did. Worst of it came through about 10 o'clock, 10:30. What would that have been? Wednesday night? I was asleep. I went to bed at 9. I said, hey, if I wake up and I'm seeing stars, well, I wouldn't have seen stars. If I wake up to rain on my face, so be it. Hi, Anthony, Mr. Dodge, Opa Dodge. Hey, Digger. All right, I'm still waiting to be banned from Facebook, Digger. Put in Facebook jail. I've not heard from Jim, but he lives near Tom Kivicek, and I have talked to Tom, and they were without power the last time I talked to Tom, which was 10 hours ago or so, 10, 12 hours ago. I say talk, text. Hey, Alan, welcome. Might as well change cameras now. Snowflake cops. You got that right. The me generation. You can have an opinion all you want as long as you agree with me, right? Alan, the electric came back on at 4:19. All right, I started the storm with 20 gallons of gas. Okay, and I ran when the power first went out. What day is that? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday at 4 in the afternoon. All right, I cranked up the generator and I ran that until we fell asleep at 10 o'clock. Okay, and woke up the wee hours of the morning and ran it again. And then I started thinking, you know, I'm getting low on gas. The last can went in the generator, and I said, you know, I better start rationing this a little bit. So, and the key is two key things to worry about. All right, and I'll explain what those are as soon as I get. I look like Kilroy in that picture there. Two things to worry about, and refrigerator freezers, okay, because you don't want to lose $400 or $500 worth of food, and the koi pond, all right, tens of thousands of dollars worth of fish, and they have to have oxygen. I stopped feeding them last weekend so that their guts would clean out and they wouldn't be polluting the water as bad. And with the generator, there's 4 circuits out there for different pumps and air and different things. I have it wired where one circuit will work out there off the generator. So I can run one of the circulation pumps and a big air blower to maintain the oxygen. And so what I did when I decided to start rationing my generator usage, I'd run the generator for an hour and then turn it off for 3 hours. Okay. What that would do is, and I dropped an extra air pump in the pond for that extra hour as well. What that does is the freezer goes up about 7 degrees an hour. So it gets up 20, 25 degrees. It's set at 0, but it'll climb to 20 to 25 degrees. And then run it for an hour, it brings it back down to 0. Okay, so it maintains the food. Now, some of the breaded food, frozen breaded items, when it gets above 15 degrees, all right, the breading will separate and the breading will cook dark. It's still safe to eat, but the breading will cook dark because what they use to stick the breading onto the meat thaws out at a much lower temperature. So, and that's probably everything you ever wanted to know about food quality. So everything in Tampa, pretty much, is fine. We dodged a bullet, but looking down at Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, Sanibel, Captiva, Cape Coral, Cape Coral. Those areas are just devastated. I got a good friend that lives a little bit east of Fort Myers. I got to go down and play lumberjack this weekend. All depends on how much gas you have, Alan. Yesterday the weather here was beautiful. I mean, it got sunny in the afternoon and everything. The only problem was everybody had closed for Wednesday and Thursday. So none of the grocery stores are open. The convenience stores were open, but they were not pumping gas. Okay. I drove a 5-mile radius around our house, and there's not one place pumping gas. That's when it started to get real about rationing what I had left. And I would have been good until mid-afternoon today. So I know one thing I'm going to change in my hurricane plan is add another 5 gallons of gas, and I won't run it full bore for hours and hours and hours at a time like I did this time because, quite frankly, I didn't know how long the power was going to be out. The power, all of our power here in our area is all underground. Okay, so we're not subject to the winds blowing poles and so forth over, and we're 5 miles from the power plant. Okay, so any of the high lines coming out of the power plant would be priority 1 to fix. So I really didn't expect us to lose power during Irma 4 or 5 years ago. We never lost power, and most of the area around us, right across the lake, they had power. All right. The next neighborhood over had power. It was just like a slice through our development that didn't have power. Yeah, Digger, you haven't even begun the storm. The stuff you're getting now isn't even from Irma. I forget the name of the storm. It was the one that went out towards Bermuda. That's headed up your way. Irma is getting ready, if it hasn't already, to hit South Carolina as a Category 1. Now, when it made landfall at by Captiva and Punta Gorda, it was a Category 4, just shy of a Category 5. And but once it hits land, it starts to quickly dissipate. By the time it was passing at the closest point to us, it was a Category 2, which is still now these homes here are built to withstand Category 3 hurricane winds. So I lost a few shingles, that's all, but my roof's 16 years old too. So I'm due for a new roof. Hey, Scott, didn't see you sneak in there. And Lee came in too. Hey, Lee. Yeah, there's Lee. So I've got stuff that was supposed to be here. Originally, it was scheduled for yesterday. Today, then it was scheduled for today, but there's no tracking. They're not tracking it because of the storm. So I don't know when it'll be here. But what it is are a set of 3 more of these chandeliers that will go into Union Station. So that's kind of the next project. I'm working on the infrastructure over here. You can see where it's not painted. That's an extension out a little bit more. I've got a test track for the trolley set up. I've got to rerun this line here a little bit further out underneath so I can sneak another track back there, a stubbed track, and that's going to be the place where I ultimately will park the Burlington Excursion. What is the heaviest we got? I think, wind-wise, I assume is what you're talking about. I think it was around 90 to 100 gust, sustained winds around 70, and that was about 10 o'clock. Of course, I don't have a wind gauge, and where they measure is the airport in Tampa, which is 30, 40 miles as the crow flies away, further away from the thing. We would have been roughly the same distance. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's hard to actually say. Looking at what the weather maps were and so forth, I'm guesstimating around 90 to 100 mile an hour gusting wind, 70 mile an hour plus sustain. I think. Now, Tom Kivicek and Jim Tedesco, they would have been on the east side of the eye, and that is far worse than the west side. All right, the east side is more consolidated, heavier winds, and the ability to throw off tornadoes. Whenever there's tornadoes associated with a hurricane, it's always on the northeast side of the eye. Now, where it came ashore, Punta Gorda is roughly, as the crow flies, about 60 miles away from where I'm at. Okay. But if you look at the devastation, yes, Punta Gorda was bad, but all the big tidal surge that they talk about, that was all in the Fort Myers Beach, Captiva, Sanibel, again on that east side, it's northeast to begin with, but the east side of the eye. And my dad used to live in Fort Myers, right off of the bay there, and I am 100% sure, based upon some of the overhead coverage I've seen, that his old house is underwater. So I did, Lynn, but I put up a sign and everybody started showing up, so I started early. All right, sue me. Yeah, Sebring, where Tom and Jim are, that's in kind of in the center of the state. If you look at a map, you see Lake Okeechobee. It's that big lake in the south center portion of Florida, and Sebring is just north of that. That's where Jim and Tom are. And then Chasco, he's up in the Orlando area, if I'm not mistaken. Robert Sacco, he's over in Pinellas, which is the other side of the bay from me. Which, if it had followed the original track, Robert would have been in deep doo-doo. But it made that jog to the right and hit down further south. Yeah, Scott, I talked a little while ago to, 10, 12 hours ago. And he said the same thing, no power, but they're okay. He said he's bored to death. No, tree rogie, not too many. You got Florida East Coast on the East Coast, and you got CSX over here on the west coast of Florida. The Tropicana juice train that comes out of Sarasota area, comes up to Tampa, and then goes up through the center of the state to Jacksonville, and then up the East Coast. Yeah, really long extension cord. I needed an extension cord. One nice thing about the generator, the way I got it set up, is all I got to do is run a pigtail from the generator to a socket on the side of the house, and then I've got a transfer switch, and just fire up the generator and then start switching over whole circuits. So I don't have to run extension cords all over the house for refrigerators and so forth. That's what they call it. Tree rogie. It's the Tropicana juice train. Reefer after reefer after reefer after reefer. And a few Tropicana boxcars in there even. Well, there's a bridge it has to cross in Bradenton. It's a drawbridge, so that's, the bridge going from Fort Myers over to Sanibel Island is gone. That was the only way to drive to Sanibel. I just shut down, John, whatever's not on the way the transfer switch works, it's individual circuits. So, and you switch, the switch goes from line to off, and then the generator. Okay, now what I do is I do shut down all the circuits that I'm not using, that are not on the transfer switch. Everything else I shut down, so when power did come back on, it didn't spike and start zapping things. And then you bring them on one at a time, nice and slow. I did have one 110 circuit in the house that's not on the transfer switch that I had a light turned on. Of course, it wasn't lit when the power's out, but at 4:19 in the morning, that's how I know what time it came back on. That light came on, woke me up. So. John, that's a physical impossibility with the transfer switch I have. because you're not feeding directly into the circuit box. Okay, if you feed a generator, let's say you use one of the 220 circuits in your circuit breaker box, and you feed into that, yeah, you can backfeed, which is not a good thing. But if you have a proper transfer switch, all right, that's a physical impossibility because you're either online, off, or on the generator, so it cannot backfeed. And they make manual and automatic. Automatic transfer switches are cool, but very, very expensive. There's a ton of railroad bridges over the Mississippi River. So I don't know. You just reroute that point. Every major town up and down the Mississippi has at least one or more, and not even major town, one or more railroad bridges. Yeah, Artie, with having the coy, and that's the major reason for the generator, all right, is to protect the coy. And side benefit is for us. I have no idea, Tree Rogie. They own a lot more than people realize. Westward expansion was done through granting property to railroads. Amen to that, John. Yeah, I'd like to say that the generators make so I could make sure I could run trains during a hurricane. I'd like to say that, but that's not the case. That's just one of those side benefits. It was funny on one of the live streams. I kept noticing a lot of new people coming in. And one guy asked me to run trains. It was right after I parked them. I said, I just parked them, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, I get a text from my son. And my son's a plant engineer up at a factory up in outside of Nashville. And he said his whole crew is sitting there watching my live stream. And they want to see the trains run. So I had to restart the trains. Well, Tree Rogie, if you studied American history, all right, I don't know where you're from, but if you study American history and the westward expansion back in the 1800s, the railroads were granted alternating sections of land, all right, like a checkerboard running across the country, and that was the method in which they financed building the railroads, all right? And so some of those became very profitable in mineral rights as well. So I don't know what tax benefits they get now. I'm not a tax attorney, but they did get a lot of benefits just to build the railroads. So, okay, John, how they run trains off of battery power? How do they have batteries? And a section of land is 1 mile square, if I'm not mistaken. So think about that, alternating sections of land, mile square, it's a hefty amount of land. So, God, I woke up this morning, it was 63 degrees. We went from overnight lows of 79, 80 degrees last week to overnight lows now in the low 60s. That's January weather here in Florida. All right, Joe, welcome. At least I saw you sneak in this time. Lee, your church area is looking pretty cool. All right, I can't stand it any longer. I need to crank up some trains. Ow, ooh, my old bones are creaking. You got one bridge in, I just didn't put the other in. Let's turn on the other cameras. Let's move this over here. Oh, I forgot to fire up Panel Pro. And while that's firing up, all right. All right, this one needs to come over here. And all right. Brr. I don't know if I can handle that anymore, Bernard. All right, I need to move this over here. I need to fire this up. There we go. All right. For those that joined late, here is my opening screen. And why today is just a live stream, no mail call. Because there hasn't been any mail service. All right, now let's get over here. Oh, I imagine I could take that. Let's move it over here. That way you can see the trains. And oh man, we're not going to run trains. My throttle's dead. It should have charged. Why did it charge? Charging now. I don't want that. It's got to charge up. I got other throttles, but I don't like them. And some of you probably saw this. Yeah, there's a JMRI throttle too, Y throttle. But then I can only run one train there instead of running 3. But if that's what you want, do it. There we go. And there it is. I better check all my switches. Oof. Ah. Oof. Do 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 do. All right. All right. I wonder if it'll let me open up a second. Nope. Just one. Well, let me see if my other. I might be able to get another train going. I know John Linton's going to be yelling at me here in a minute. There we go. So the little street runner is on. Oh yeah, it did allow me to have a second one. Huh. Oh, I just got to get it out of the way. Okay. Now we got 3 running. No, Jerry, I haven't heard from Jim. I texted with Tom Kivicek, who lives near Jerry. I mean, near Jim. A little 10 hours or so ago, and they're without power. So let's see. I better. All right, let's get one more train going. That way I can really mess things up. What the hell? Come on. I'm going to need another. Well, I'll tell you what. I got another one I can use. All else fails. I think I have as many throttles as Heath sometimes. All right. That's why I don't do that. Crap. I keep forgetting that there is one spot on the entire railroad that my commuter cars are extra long. They're like 80-foot cars, and they will not pass by one of the 72-foot Athearn passenger cars in this one corner, just this one corner. Yes, I know, bad planning, but I didn't have any 80-foot cars. Had no, oh, I did. I was not planning on using them. All right, that one can go. Here we go. There we go. Hey, Chesco. Yeah, Artie, I do need to fire that town planner. Actually, the town planner did it exactly to the specifications that he wanted. And then I tried to push the issue with longer cars. I just had to make sure that the bi-level commuter car doesn't pass the city of Los Angeles back here in this corner. They're fine everywhere else. All right, so we got 4 trains running. We got a local freight. We've got the switcher on the running the street there, the industrial switcher running the street. We got the city of Los Angeles and the bi-level commuter. The only place I ever saw overhead wires was for buses or street trolleys, if you want to call them that, in downtown Chicago in the very early 60s. And they did away with those soon afterwards. Because by the 70s, I don't ever remember seeing them. All right, see you later, John. Yeah, Artie, I do need a better crystal ball. Or just a crystal ball. So did anybody buy anything Caboose Stop Hobbies this week? Man, I couldn't type fast enough on the vehicles. Well, they didn't convert all of them already because the ones going out to the western suburbs aren't that way, or weren't the last time I was in Chicago. The Burlington BNSF is still the longest running continuous passenger train service in the country. And the way they do that is because they run the Aurora to Union Station route on their tracks for Metra. But they're actually doing it under their own power and their own equipment. Still marked as Metra, but you'll see a BNSF logo on them as well. Well, I found another place they like to hit. They slapped each other over here by the backside of the quarry. We can solve that problem. Let's see, which way is it going to go? Okay, it's going to go that way. So we're going to move that to there. That to there. That to there. And everything should be good. Just to double check. Yep. Oh, what is it? I wish I would have used Pico switches throughout. I've got some Atlas switches that give me nothing but headaches. I did that one. I did that one. Oh. Need to do some wheel cleaning. Actually, I need to do some wheel replacement. I think my passenger cars are the only ones I haven't replaced with metal wheels. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Oh, trackside Mike. Oh, Derek. Who else I miss during my? Hi, Steve. I think I got everybody. Got that freight, local freight highball on it, man. Actually, I ought to have it double headed. I think we'll park the commuter. All right. And we want to release that. Close out that throttle. And shut down that siding. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch the freight to the outer. What kind of turnouts, Artie? Oh, Picos? Okay. I pay upper 20s, lower 30s. All right, so now I can slow that one down. Ooh. I know what I forgot to do. I don't know if John Linton's still here or not, but I've screwed the pooch again. I forgot to throw a switch. All right. Just slow him down some. Different car. Huh. Well, it's time to park him anyway. All right. Okay. Bad conductor. Yes, John. Slap my hand. Too many trains at one time for one guy. without automation. Alright, next one time around. I don't know what that was. It's not the switches though. I think it's a wobbly car. Severely wobbly car. A hog. Hog is working hard today. Well, this one wasn't a switch problem. Well, shit. I backed right up onto a uncoupling magnet. This is the Jeep 35 that I've had sitting on my desk for a month, waiting for the decoder and keep alive. Had all the lights and everything pre-wired onto a harness. So basically all I had to do is modify the sound harness and for the keep alive and plug Plug those into the new decoder and away she goes. All right, we're going to turn this train around and have it go the other way. So as the last lap it went this way, it's going to come around and we're going to start going that way. That's a good one, Lynn. Lynn just sent me a picture with a caption, someone's been eyeing my koi. And it's a picture, let me see if I can, without having to finagle everything, see if I can do it a different way, show y'all. All right. Y'all see that? Alligator swimming in somebody's house. All right, so now we've reversed the whole train. That was always something I wanted from the time I was a little kid. It's a layout where you can reverse the whole train. I just use either a gloss or a matte acrylic already in my airbrush to seal my decals. Of course, first time I printed decals and tried to use them, I didn't read the instructions. And the big bold print must be sealed. Yep. So now we're going the other way around. Now, you guys talking about sealers once they are applied, or sealers when you print your own decals? I'm talking about when you print your own decals and sealing them before water slide decals before you try to water slide them. Because if you don't seal them, they will all inkjet printers will, or dustjet printers, ink will come right off. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. I just use. Did I use it? I've done it both ways. I've used acrylic matte finish, and I've also used enamel, Rust-Oleum. I think Rust-Oleum or Krylon, one or the other. All right, we're at an hour and a half, and I'm going to start shutting it down. I still have stuff to do. I got a neighbor I got to go help with rebuild his fence. These we have PVC fences, and they're built to have the slats blow out of them in case of a hurricane instead of blowing over. So anyway, I got to help him put his slats back in. He's even older than I am, so. There's no such thing as a bad train day, John. Come on. There's bad results day. I always get too rambunctious to try to run too many trains. I mean, I can sit here and run this little freight all day long, no problem. Because I pay attention to it. When I'm running 3 passenger trains, a local freight, no, 2 passenger trains, a local freight plus the street switcher. Righty then. And as everybody knows, I did not have a mail call today. All right. And the post office motto: neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from their swift completion of their appointed rounds. Yeah, they didn't say shite about Hurricane Ian now, did they? I think we had mail service on Monday. Be interested to see if we get any today. The airport's been shut down, so, and a lot of the mail comes in, at least long distance light mail comes in that way. East Coast stuff comes in by truck. Are the trains running yet? Artie, did you put out a Fun Day Friday? Better yet, did I see it? All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it a day. We're Retirement Railroad is fully recovered from Ian, and I hope Jim Tedesco and Tom Kivicek do well too. How's Chasko was in here a while ago. I meant to ask him how he fared. So, anyway, guys, I want to thank y'all for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad. You did? Okay. No, I didn't. Okay. So I'll get it this afternoon. All right. Good enough, Artie. Guys, thanks for joining. Remember, Happy Valley Hobbies at 2:30 Eastern, and of course, Opa Dodge, all right, at 3:30 Eastern. And Y'all have a great day. Later, guys.